Sean, before we get into senior day, can you take us through that dunk yesterday? Zed said he's been telling you all year that he didn't think you were going to dunk.
Yeah, I've had a lot of opportunities, pretty much all of them on backdoor plays. I don't really think about it in the game, but I think it was out of the timeout after we drew up the play. I was like, I'm gonna try to dunk it no matter what, even if there was somebody down there. I don't care if I missed it or whatever, but no, it was good to get one though. Good to get a win, more importantly.
Yeah, what did that feel like for someone like you after going through everything you've gone through this season, and not having, I'm sure, the team success you wanted to have when you transferred here, but knowing that there's only a few games left on the calendar, and to find a way to win yesterday, what did that mean for you? What does that mean for you going into senior day?
Yeah, I think to start on, just this year personally has been probably the toughest year I've ever gone through for a number of reasons. One, to start with my dad. Two, I had a really close personal friend that I lost. Literally around, it was within 24 hours of my dad or what happened to my dad as well. On top of some other things, and just trying to find my role here too. It's been a challenge, and then on top of that, this year, the way the season's played out. But no, I mean, to get a win yesterday and hopefully spark something here at the right time, I think is important going forward.
Sean, you mentioned all that you've been through this year. Where are you mentally now?
I take it day by day. Sounds cliche, but no, I'm just super grateful to be here, for my dad to be in the health that he's in, and to mentally be where I'm at. I'm happy with it. Just continue to take one step at a time.
And how do you want to finish this season for you and also for this program going forward, and what you can help build?
Yeah, definitely get 2 wins here to finish out the regular season, and then the Big Ten tournament is our way in. So go in there and take one day, one practice at a time, one game at a time. Starts on Wednesday, and then we'll play again, obviously, at Michigan State, and then whoever we get matched up with to start the Big Ten tournament, take one at a time. Hopefully we're playing late in March and early in April.
Sean, you just said you want to get 2 wins to finish out the regular season. First one's going to be Maryland. Last time you played them, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys basically outplayed them the whole first half and the final 15 minutes of the second half, just that 5-minute stretch to start. So what are you guys changing, or what do you think can be changed this time around to make sure that you can't let them go on that dominant of a run?
Yeah, something that we've continued to talk about is how we finish the half and then how we start the second half. I think that's really what has put us in a tough stretch of games here the last month and a half, honestly. We'll play really well to start the game, and then it's like a 3 or 4 minute stretch at the end of the half where we give up 8-0, 10-0, 12-0 run, and then you look at the scoreboard at halftime, we're down 15, and it's just tough to get out of that hole. But the Illinois game, we did really well, played probably our most complete game, definitely in this stretch, but maybe all season. And like I said, hopefully that's just momentum going forward.
Then specifically with Maryland, with Jameer Young, I don't think he's a big guy. I think he's 6 foot, 6'1", something like that. But last time went for 30 and 11 rebounds. How much of that do you think with you guys was it that he just wanted it more and that can't happen, or was it something tangible that you guys, once you've looked at film, can maybe change to scale it back a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, give credit to him. He's a really good player. But I mean, there's definitely some things that we could do better. Not one specific guy, all of us, 1 through 15, whatever it is, that we can do better. It's a team effort. It's not just the guy guarding them. There's 5 guys out there, and at this level, it's really hard to guard a guy one-on-one. It's called team defense for a reason. So we've got to help the guy next to us 1 through 5. So we'll do a better job this time.
Sean, I'm curious your perspective on this because you've played a lot of basketball. You've been in 2 different leagues. We hear a lot about Bruce and his approach to things and how maybe it's a little more mature than you would expect from a freshman. Would you agree with that, or just what have you noticed about the way that he goes about his business, particularly for a young guy?
Bruce is a heck of a player in the last 4 or 5 games. I don't know what he's averaging. I know he's basically carried us to the win yesterday. And he's the reason why we've been, for the first half of Purdue and, started the second half. I mean, he's played unbelievable the last couple games. But down the stretch, I mean, his maturity, The ball's in his hand most of the time to make plays or get the ball to me or Justice or whoever it is. He's relied on at a really high level. And going forward, his sense of the game, this year is going to be huge for him and all the freshmen going forward. But Bruce is special. He's way above his age for sure.
What is the dynamic like to have a freshman who's a captain and has a leadership voice on a team that has guys like yourself who've been around for 4, 5, 6 years?
I think the one thing that sticks out to me, especially in a season like this, is his voice. He's never really, he's never presented himself as a freshman. Really, his voice has been there, has been present. In times where we go on, where teams make a run, he's saying something to us in the huddle, trying to keep us together and connected, which is important, at this level. And when you go through stretches like this, when you lose, 1 or 2 in a row, things kind of get shaky or can get shaky. And guys might kind of seem to hide in corners a little bit, but Bruce has never been that guy. He's always been vocal. He's always been a leader ever since the summertime. So for him being the captain, I think it was long overdue for him.
Sean, curious, not here at Ohio State, just take this year out of it, but between the Big Ten and the Big 12, what's the best environment, college basketball environment you've ever seen?
Just as far as schools go?
Campus sites, yeah.
Campus sites?
Campus
Okay.
sites.
Oh gosh. I would say Kansas is probably at the top for sure. Can't even hear yourself thinking there. Man, that would probably be one. As far as the Big, probably Purdue, obviously, sits at the top of the list as far as the Big Ten goes. But I'm very fortunate. I've been in 2 of the best leagues in America. I've got to experience some cool places to play, and like I said, just extremely grateful for the opportunities. At my time in West Virginia and then here as well.
You mentioned Purdue there. I don't know if it's just me saying this, but it feels like in the last 5 years, you hear more about Mackey. Maybe I'm making that up, but what is it about? Is it the T-shirts they're wearing, or is it something with the acoustics in the place? What is it that makes Purdue, the team they have, helps clearly, but what else?
Right. Yeah. I think that it's not a huge arena. I don't know what it seats, but it seems like everybody's sitting on top of you. The acoustics, the sound, everything echoes in there, so it makes everything that much more loud. The student body's really energetic, really involved. Makes it fun to play in for sure. Indiana was fun too.
Sean, you talked about some of the off-court stuff you've had to deal with this year and how that will always kind of be part of your memory here. There's a lot of stuff I'm sure that you guys go through that fans don't know about, we don't know about, people outside the locker room don't know about. How much is that a thing for players? You're playing on the stage, people think they know you, but how many guys are going through stuff like that on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever?
Yeah, I think it's tough, and fans and people forget that we're real people too. We're put on television, and people see us as basketball players, and that's great. That's what we've worked for, our whole life. But at the same time, we also have a life outside of basketball. I know that's hard for people to realize. It's hard for even us to realize sometimes. Is finding hobbies outside of basketball. We live in the gym basically. We're here from sun up to sundown pretty much. But no, I mean it's been a battle. It's always a battle, especially with social media and the world that we live in now. It feels like we can never get away from it. But no, I mean just stay in tune with real life and knowing that if I can say anything, just knowing that we're still real people. We still face issues outside of in between the lines and things that are revolved around basketball too.
What does it take to get through that? When you're dealing with something personal like that, it's your own personal private life, but people are expecting, why isn't he making more shots, or why isn't he doing whatever? What does it take to handle that and get through it? And like you said, protect your mental health and stuff. Yeah, and this year I've actually taken more time. I've never really been super involved in social media, but just because of what's happened, this year with, like I said, my dad and my friend, and I've tried to stay off of it as much as I can. I know that a lot of guys say that, but it can be so toxic, it can be so negative, and so I try to stay off of it. I haven't shot. From 3, I haven't shot it as well as I would have liked to, but there could be a ton of reasons why you could say that, but
At the end of the day, I haven't shot it, how I know I can to my full ability, but I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed my time here, and hopefully we can start stringing some games here together late.
Sean, Chris was talking about senior days are different than they used to be with guys, especially with transfer portal and stuff now. As you go into this senior day, you've only been here 1 year, but how do you what do you expect from that? Maybe not the emotions you would if you'd spent 4 or 5 years at a program, but what do you expect from that, and how maybe is it different than what you've seen from other senior days in the past?
Yeah, obviously, as you can imagine, my 3 years at West Virginia, kind of will hit home a little bit more than my 1 year here. But that doesn't take anything away from the connections, the relationships I've built here. Something that'll carry on, with me for the rest of my life. Relationships with the guys, the coaches, everybody involved here, staff. Such great people. So glad I was able and fortunate enough to come here and meet these people and just be a part of their life and then be a part of my life, and that's something that'll continue on for years to come.
And then Sean, before you got to Ohio State, Justice and Ice, 2 other guys that are going to get senior day tomorrow. Did you know them, or had you met them before you got to Ohio State? And then yes or no? And then also, I guess, can you just talk about your relationship with those 2 guys and what it was like getting to know those guys here in your last year?
Yeah, I didn't know Justice. I definitely knew Ice. Knew Ice more than I would have liked to know Ice, just from playing him at Oklahoma State. But no, 2 guys that I'm probably closer with on the team just because of age and us being closer together in that regard. But like I said, 2 great people. Every single guy on the team is such a great dude, and I mean that wholeheartedly. We were hanging out together last night actually after the win, and it's just good to be around. It's not just on the court that we have that bond, and in that 1 year it's tough to build those type of relationships, but that's something that's definitely happened here for sure.
Sean, just reflecting on your entire basketball career, just how much of an impact has Bob Huggins had just on your ability as a player and then also your leadership?
I'll start by saying I love Hugs to death. For people that don't really know my story, I basically quit basketball. I walked away from a Division II scholarship, took a year off playing. I just went to school back at home, and then my sophomore year is when I went junior college, and then that was my first Power 5 scholarship. So for him to take a chance on me and give me that opportunity is something I'll never be able to repay him for. I'll forever be in his debt. But no, I'm super excited that he's a part of my life, a mentor. I can't wait to go back hopefully this summer and see him and catch up a little bit. Hopefully he makes a tournament. I know he's on everybody's chops about they better make the tournament. They got a big one tonight that I'll be watching. But no, I can't say enough good things about him. He's everything you can imagine on the floor, but off the floor he's an even better dude.
Right, you hear all these stories about Bob Huggins this, Bob Huggins that. What's your best Bob Huggins story?
Oh gosh, that I can say to the media? No, there's too many good ones. But when I tell everybody, we were going through kind of a tough stretch, and then we actually went to, we were on a road trip. We played, I think Friday, we played Texas Tech at Tech, and then it was a road trip. We went straight to Austin. And me and him and one of my best friends, Jordan McCabe, we just went up to his room till like 2 or 3 in the morning and just sat there and he was telling stories, and I was up there for like an hour, and I looked at Jordan, I was like, do we want to go back to the room, and Hugs just kept talking. So I was like, I'm gonna just stay up here and keep listening. So that's one of the, he's got so many stories. He's such a legendary coach, legendary guy. You just want to be around him as much as you can.
Thanks, Sean.